Welcome to B&B Movie Reviews. Jake Gyllenhaal trades blows with Conor McGregor, and Regina King returns with a political biopic of an iconic figure.
Zendaya has relationship issues, and we celebrate 25 years of being plugged into the Matrix. Stay right there. B&B is coming up next.
The movie opens up, and Jake Gyllenhaal's Dalton is, suffering from suicidal tendencies. He's driving his car onto train tracks and, tempting fate. And that's just not my Dalton.
It's funny though, because, and thinking about that now, I think the movie kind of, and I think that's where I kind of have struggled with the tone of it, because the character of Dalton is dealing with a darkness, but then all the other characters around him are kind of acting like a bit silly and a bit goofy, and I think those are kind of conflicting with each other, where the movie kind of wants to be one thing, but then Jake Gyllenhaal and his performance feels like it's doing something completely different.
I just felt like this film was incredibly aggressive, and it was very try-hard. I like Jake Gyllenhaal, but there was an ease with Patrick Swayze.
True.
The coolness just came to him.
Yeah.
And Jake Gyllenhaal is just gritting, and he's doing exercises, and he's going to be the toughest dude around.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's all just play. You call it a biopic, but what's great about this film is it takes a moment in time, her run for presidency, and just zeroes in on that stretch, and it is a thriller. Shirley Chisholm is such an iconic figure, and this was such an iconic moment. It's tough to just walk into that piece of history, because we've all seen the film from that moment in time, right? And Regina King doesn't really look like Shirley Chisholm. She tries to kind of sound like Shirley Chisholm, but not really. It's not an impression.
No.
It is a performance. And Regina King is absolutely the standout of this movie.
Like you were saying, it's not necessarily a political biopic. It really kind of takes her run for presidency. But where this movie kind of leaves you, it's such an emotional wallop, when you get to some of those final moments that I wasn't really expecting to have.
Shirley Chisholm does not become president. So how do you deal with that conclusion, right?
Yeah.
And there are so many ways they could have done it, and I think they found the perfect way.
Yeah.
And this film actually reminds me a lot of Spielberg's Lincoln, where he just takes this one section of time in Lincoln's life to really talk about the character of Lincoln.
Yeah.
Same thing here for Shirley Chisholm. Luca Guadagnino, he makes some pretty intense movies, and this one is very much a Luca Guadagnino film. But I also think it's not necessarily the film you think it is based on the trailer. The trailer, the central scene of the three of them on that bed, you could feel it when we were watching it in the audience, everyone's waiting for this moment. And it does not necessarily go where you think it's going to go.
It doesn't play out in the way that people think watching that trailer, but it goes to a place.
It goes to a place.
We'll just kind of leave it at that. And then I want to go to Luca Guadagnino. I know a lot of his films, but I haven't seen some of his filmography.
Watch all of them, Bryan.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back. But there is such a kinetic, there's an energy to the tennis scenes and to the way that he has it's not needle drops of songs, but the needle drops of the score, and how he brings the score in.
The score is amazing.
Done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who I love. And the way he utilizes the score.
The Matrix was like our Star Wars, right? The movie comes in and then kind of reworks your brain a little bit. It's a perfect gateway film. I can't even really talk about The Matrix without talking about the things that The Matrix introduced me to. Anime, manga, cartoonists like Jeff Darrow who worked on it, Steve Scroce who worked on it. That sent me to books like Hard Boiled. I watched Ghost in the Machine, Ghost in the Shell.
In the last episode with Ghostbusters, where that's being made by filmmakers who kind of grew up with that material, filmmakers who saw The Matrix, whether they were, if they were young, coming in now being filmmakers and being influenced by that, and seeing that in some of the works of science fiction.
Hard to replicate something like The Matrix. Rewatching it, that opening scene with Trinity. When she first hopped up and the bullet time goes around her. When I saw that in 1999 in the theater, I had never seen anything like it. And also, you go well, what kind of movie am I watching? They did a great job marketing this and then giving you something a little bit different.